Hello there, everyone. I am here because I have had the most disturbing encounter with one of my favorite movies from Columbia Pictures. The movie I am mentioning from is a film from 1996 entitled Fly Away Home. The film resembles a 13-year-old girl named Amy who lives with her father Thomas Alden. In the movie, Amy raises a bunch of little birds, which became geese, and she and her father build aircrafts to help them fly south for the winter. Now, I have a problem when I watch this film. Out of all the scenes in the film, my favorite scene would have to be the shower scene. Why? I just find the scenery, despite being inside, pretty cool. You'll have to forgive me for what I like. Anyways, in regards to this, I came across the most haunting version of the shower scene that scarred me for life. It all started on the 24th of September of the year 2021. I had just finished my day at community base and I decided to go out for some evening fresh air. I rode my bike down the park that was not that far. I went to a Lake library to see if I had any good books and DVDs I could get. I got a few books including Battle for Dreamland Island Character Guide, a book about Curious George, and a book about the country of Mexico. As I thought the media section wasn't interesting, one thing of course caught my eye. It was a VHS of the 1996 film Fly Away Home. It was rather confusing, given that most libraries didn't offer videotapes nowadays, but I decided to take it with me anyway. The books, including the VHS, were due in 2 weeks. When I got home, I decided to play on my Nintendo Switch. Later that evening, my parents told me that they were going out for the evening, and my little sister Phoenix would be spending the weekend at her aunt's house. This meant that I would be in charge of the house for a little while, and it would probably give me the opportunity to watch my favorite movie. The moment I opened the VHS, I recognized that it came along with a disc. The disc's case was in a yellow CD sleeve. It reminded me of one of those little sleeves where you get rather special edition video game cases at GameStop. The disc's art didn't appear to be a shot of the shower scene, aka hot and bothered. On this disc, it had surrounded the sound logo, which seemed confusing, considering the fact that it was mostly seen on Columbia TriStar videotapes. It also showed the date when the disc was made. The year was 1999. Since my VCR DVD combo has a DVD player, I decided to watch the DVD to see my thoughts on it. The DVD story began with the Columbia TriStar home video logo from 1993 to 2001. Then there was free previews that were playing. The previews that were on the screen was a teaser trailer for Thomas and the Magic Railroad, Bear in the Big Blue House, and an early teaser trailer for The Trumpet of the Swan. When the previews ended, it took me to the DVD menu. I pressed play option to start the deleted scene until I recognized something out of the ordinary. For starters, it had a warning that said this: "Warning, the following deleted version of the shower scene was removed from the final film due to having some scenes of graphic nudity, blood, and gore that may not be suitable for younger audiences. And we must inform you that by the end of this DVD, there is a jump scare. For everyone's information, viewer discretion as advised." The scene then started automatically with Thomas Alden in his workshop when his good friend came by. They had a little discussion like they did in the original film. When Thomas and his good friend were walking into Thomas' house for some coffee, the scene then jumped to the shower scene where Amy and her ducks were happily showering. However, the camera panned across the bathroom when there was a sink that was covered in blood. The fact that it had blood, it possibly meant that the shower water would fade into a blood red color. As Amy scrubbed her arms with soap and later wetted the crap out of her hair, my theory was correct. The water faded into red color, which resembled blood. As Amy opened her eyes to see there was blood on the ducks, and she gasped when she saw it. The blood also had corrosive stains inside it, considering the fact it was made ducks melt their skins into a blob. "The blood's corrosive!" Amy yelled. The ducks then let out their screams of terror as they were slowly melting into their death, but it didn't sound like their usual quacks. It sounded actual human screams. "Help us!" one of the ducks pleaded. I got surprised there. The ducks actually spoke first 2 words. I never knew they would do that. I also do realize that Amy was melting with the ducks as well. Amy tried turning on the shower handle as if to turn it off, but nothing was working for her. She then realized that the only way she could get out was to break most of the shower's doors, and she proceeds to do so. But as she tried, the blood slowly rose up to kill Amy as she screamed for help. As she kept screaming to get out, she then let out a loud pained groan which came out through my TV speakers. It also sounded like her voice actress, Anna Paquin, was being tortured really badly on set. I covered my eyes when this happened. It lasted about 5 seconds until I realized that the blood on the palm of my hands. "Dang it," I said. "That groan from that little girl got me killed." When we see Thomas for once, who didn't even care about the situation Amy was in. His other good friend Susan came in the bathroom as soon as she heard Amy's blood-curdling scream. She then grabbed an axe to burst down the door. But before she did that, she said, "Amy, I need you to calm down, because what I'm going to do may seem dangerous, just trust me." Susan broke down the door, and what I saw gave me the creeps. Amy was lying dead on the ground. Part of her brain was exposed and her jaw was entirely cut off. The ducks also had the same thing, but their eyes were almost human realistic eyes, which made me got into my head. There was also a puddle of blood on the ground. "Amy, are you okay?" Susan asked. Amy then spoke. Her voice faded into an angry effect. "No, I'm not okay. You were the one that caused all of this." Amy then got up along with the ducks to attack Susan. "What are you do?" Before Susan could finish her sentence, Amy slapped her in the cheek. After she slapped Susan in the cheek, she then started to yell at her, with the angry tone still being visible throughout her voice. "Don't tell me what to do, moron!" She then grabbed a baseball bat and she started to hit Susan on the head. Susan then grunts in agony as she was being knocked over. I then realized that pained grunt actually came from the anime TV series Sackboy's Big Adventure, for when Sackboy fell on his butt tripping over his sword backwards from the episode Don't Mess with Naomi, I mean it. It sounded so loud that I had to cover my ears again. It lasted for about 3 seconds, until Susan was knocked out. Blood was seeping from her forehead as she groans in pain. After what Susan got injured, Amy then said her last words before Susan getting dressed. "That's what you get for causing all this to happen." After Amy walked away, it immediately cuts black, presumably the meaning the scene was over. But when I was about to reach for the DVD remote, I saw something that came on screen that also scared the crap out of me. It had a picture of a Canadian goose head, but it was different. The goose's eyes were black with red pupils were red. It was shedding tears, but it was dark red, which kind of resembled blood, while it was overlapped with the Howie scream and blood-curdling scream and a piano scare chord. The screams along with the scare chord were ear-piercing that I put headphones on just in case my ears bled again. But when I did that, I noticed there was blood on my speakers on my headphones, which also made my ears ring. "Great, just great. My ears bled again," I muttered angrily. When it ended, it took me back to the menu. I took the DVD and put it somewhere so I can easily show it to my parents when they return. The next morning I had some thoughts about smashing the DVD, but then I would end up getting fined by the library. So the thing I did was to show the film to my parents, and let me tell you, they were horrified. Later that afternoon, I emailed Sony about the alternative version of my favorite scene from the movie I got at the library. They told me that they actually had plans to make Fly Away Home a horror movie. Doesn't that sound familiar? Well, yeah, I remember when the Banana Splits got their own horror film. I have some very sincere apologies to Anna Paquin and Dana Daly. They probably never asked to be in a film like this. Whatever I experienced, please don't watch it.
What's up, my pretties? It's the Lion Queen here. I want to appreciate you all for tuning into this video, and I do appreciate you guys supporting my video by giving this video likes and stuff. If you really enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're new, ring the bell for notifications to when I upload so that way you guys will get updated for whenever I upload. If you want to follow me on Twitter or DeviantArt, feel free to leave a follow on those if you are interested in following me on those socials. If you want to support my backup channel, known as Miss Dark Shigo, feel free to subscribe to it, as a link to that will also be in the About page section. And with that being said, and that being the case, thank you so much for watching, my pretties. And as always, stay pretty.